We're gonna carry on and plan the sequel, because let's face it, baby, these days, you gotta have a sequel.
We have some really interesting Scream 7 updates this morning coming from the luscious lips of Matthew Lillard himself, as well as the OG Tatum, Rose McGowan. Let's talk a little bit about this. Hey everybody, I'm Killjoy Jake, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. If you enjoy talking about slasher flicks as much as I do, then make sure to like this video and subscribe for more horror movie updates just like this one. Also, the best way to support the page is by becoming a channel member or Patreon supporter, where you'll get an extra review video each week. Members are getting a twofer this weekend, as I just uploaded a review of Keeper from Osgood Perkins, as well as this Sunday getting a little review on The Running Man from Edgar Wright. Thank you to all of my channel members and Patreon supporters who keep this channel running. Now let's get into the update. Digging into this over on our friends page, Scream Obsessed, they recently did an interview with Rose McGowan, OG Tatum herself. She talked a little bit about how cool it was that the franchise is still honoring her character from the original film that of course passed away with that ridiculous neck snap in the garage. That cartoonish sound effect, as well as her goofy lines, make me laugh every time I hear them. Talking about how Sydney named her daughter Tatum after her character, she said, "I think Scream is one of the greatest fandoms in the world. I know I'm biased, but I believe this is true. Sydney naming her baby Tatum, it's made my heart happy, and I know it's made many others happy. It feels right and good. Tatum lives." Although Rose won't be reprising her role in the upcoming flick, presumably like a lot of the other dead characters who have already been announced to show up in this movie, there's no saying that it won't happen in the future, especially considering that I think Scream 7 is getting into some flashbacks. We can't forget some of Courtney Cox's comments from earlier this year, saying that a big motivator behind getting Dewey, David Arquette, back in Scream 7 was to be able to test the romance between these two characters again. How do you do that unless Dewey is back on screen with Gale Weathers again? Last I checked, Dewey is very, very dead. Cold in the ground.
Yes, today.
Sorry for making some of you relive that trauma. I love Dewey so much. He is my absolute favorite Scream character, but undoing that death would be undoing his fantastic character arc that I think is perfect as it stands. We're starting to get to that point in the franchise where a lot of the character arcs are just going on for a little too long, spinning their wheels. And it makes me want to roll my eyes at these once beloved characters, which I really, really hope does not happen to Sidney Prescott here in Scream 7. I am keeping my fingers crossed they have a genuinely good reason to be bringing her back. Don't disrespect Sydney like how you did with Gale Weathers in Scream 6. Anyways, carving into the meat of this video, we have a new interview with Mr. Matthew Lillard, who can be seen alongside Skeet Ulrich in the upcoming Five Nights at Freddy's 2, coming out in just a few weeks here. Humble brag, but your boy is going to be able to see that one early before its release on December 5th. I'll have a spoiler-free review of that one early on in December. Chatting with Josh Wilding over on his YouTube channel, Lillard spoke about all his upcoming projects, also including Daredevil Born Again and Mike Flanagan's Carrie series. In regards to Scream 7, he praises actress McKenna Grace, who he's worked with on a few projects now, as well as Kevin Williamson's direction. He promises that this movie gets us back to the original feel of the Scream movies, but does throw some love towards the radio silence boys, as he calls them. It kind of sounds like he flubs their name during the interview too. Can we roll that clip?
The radio flyer was fantastic directors.
After Matthew Lillard shit all over Scream 6 earlier this year, calling it too violent, it would make sense to me if he wasn't super fond of these filmmakers. I mean, I get it. Scream 6 is a massive statement saying that Stu Macher is dead, and like he says during this interview, that's kind of been his shtick for a little while here. How else can one interpret Ethan's death from Scream 6, where they literally use the same TV from Scream 96 to kill one of their own ghost faces?
I saw that in a scary movie once.
I mean, come on, dude. Outside of the usual teasing of his character's return here, Matthew also says that the flick has had early test screenings, saying, "I think early on testing has been through the roof, which is thrilling, and yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. If an early test screening has happened for the flick, I'm glad to hear that it was received positively. I really hope I like this movie when it drops. Doing updates on this movie has truly been a roller coaster. Some great things and some truly awful things as well." After that trailer, I'm definitely a little more excited for the film that's seemingly teasing a dark return to form, but I'm going in cautiously optimistic. Now, does this interview confirm Stu's return like many are already saying? I don't think so. Writer-director Kevin Williamson has had a lot more to say about this entry in the past few months. During one Collider interview in particular, the series creator stated, "There's always a new killer and a new motive. We have that mystery element. That's what I love about Scream. That's what I wanted it to be, and I'm so blessed that it became what it became." As much as the Stu fans will argue with me on this one, there is just no substantial mystery if we bring back any dead character. It's not just Stu. I love this guy, but if you bring back a dead character in general, there's not going to be a good rewatchable mystery. And you can't just tell me that Stu is gonna have accomplices, so there will still technically be new people. That's not gonna be the big reveal. That's gonna be so pushed off to the side like Quinn or Ethan in Scream 6. Stu Macher would be the big reveal in that hypothetical film. It takes the mystery out entirely because it would sucker punch the audience who has been trying to figure out who the killer is the entire time by looking at the new potential suspects, just to render all of the setup for all of these new characters is totally pointless. Think about how rewatchable a lot of these movies are, going back and seeing all the little clues that our new characters are laying down throughout that maybe we didn't know on the first go around were clues to begin with. You would have none of that if they resurrected a dead character in Act 3. There's no way Stu Macher's gonna be hanging out in the cast with a mustache the entire time and Sydney's not gonna recognize him. This is not a "I think you should leave" sketch.
Someone drove a hot dog-shaped car through the window!
Come on, whoever did this, just confess. We promise we won't be mad.
I wouldn't even care about any other new ghost faces that were working with Stu too if they got revealed. They would be totally outshined by the Stu Macher reveal, which obviously would be the focus. He would have to be in charge of whatever was going on in this new movie. Nothing else would make sense unless he's like a golem living in a basement that these characters are like worshipping. Thankfully, it seems as if the writer and director of the film understands this. One of the most important updates we've gotten regarding Scream 7 is learning that Kevin is also writing this one alongside Scream 5 and 6 scribe Guy Busick. This gives me faith that this is going to be a bona fide Scream movie that still tries to be ambitious, but stays faithful to certain tried and true traditions. Regarding that, Kevin Williamson told Collider earlier this year, "There's always a new killer and a new motive. We have that mystery element. That's what I love about Scream. That's what I wanted it to be, and I'm so blessed that it became what it became." I am all about this series trying out some new stuff. I think that's what gives a lot of these sequels some weight and a reason to exist. But you can't deviate or sacrifice what makes these films so great in the first place. One of those things, obviously, maybe my favorite thing about the entire franchise, is how we get a new murder mystery each time. This isn't a Friday the 13th or a Nightmare on Elm Street or even Halloween, where we get the same killer going after people the entire time. There's always somebody new underneath the Scream mask. That's what gives this franchise so much personality with each new entry. It would be a tragedy if the franchise ever lost that. Before we wrap up today's update, I do want to remind you guys that we're doing a really exciting stream tonight over on the gaming channel GullGotha. We're covering the Terrifier arcade game that has finally released. Don't miss that over on the gaming channel tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. There will be a link for it in the description of this video. You can also just find it if you look up GullGotha, spelled like G-U-L-L, goth. Go subscribe to that page, it's gonna be fun. What do you guys think about all of these exciting Scream 7 updates, flashbacks in the new film, an alleged test screening for the movie that allegedly took place, and also, of course, Stu Macher's big return? Are all these things going to happen in Scream 7? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you all for watching, please subscribe, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.